Hi, my name is Marissa Brooks, and this is my outlook on how mass media has affected our culture. Mass media has affected our culture on a global scale. We are no longer binded by our oceans and borders that separate us. We're able to connect through different social media apps like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to anybody in this world. We're able to make friendships, we're able to fall in love, and even stay connected to family and friends that are far away. We can know what's been going on from coast to coast and even about different issues going on the other side of the world. Every day, whenever we want, we could pick up our phones, our tablets, open our computers, and we have access to so many different news headlines. Stories of crimes being committed, of justice being served, of injustices, corrupt politicians, latest Hollywood gossip, worldly issues, issues of famine, wars going on, um, natural disasters that take place. We're able to be aware of what's going on around us. And I think it's really important because being aware, we're able to create our view on things, and we're able to connect to other people and even maybe help other people. Nowadays, this generation, everybody is on their phone. We wake up, we check our phones, our Facebook, our Instagram before we even start our day. Our whole lives are on our phones. Our pictures, our memories, our emails, even access to our bank accounts is through our phone. So I think we constantly compare ourselves to people that we see on social media. We compare ourselves to each other. We always post, what we think other people will like, or even what we think will get a reaction out of people. And I think sometimes social media can consume people's lives. You let it revolve around it too much. But overall, I do believe that mass media has a positive impact on our culture because the knowledge, the awareness, and the connection that we gain through it is overall a very positive thing. Knowledge. We have access to things like Google, our college databases. There's knowledge at our fingertips. Whatever we want to know, we could look up and pretty much research and find it out. Even the latest project we did, we had access to the different art pieces made throughout history. That's amazing. I think that the connection also is a big thing. Other than knowledge, connection. I myself, I'm able to connect to my sisters that live far away. We Skype every day, and we're able to stay connected in that sense, and that's very important to me. So, also recently, to make a long story short, I was adopted, and I did Ancestry.com, which is basically a very big DNA database, and you find out your ethnicity, and it connects you to other people in their database. And I was able to connect to my biological father through this. And I reached out to him through social media, and we were able to make a connection through that. Now, without any of this, the ancestry, the database, the social media I connected him through, it would have never been possible. I had little to no information about him. So without it, I would have never been able to make that connection. So I think connection's a very big thing for me of how I think it's positive. And also, regulation is needed for sure. I think the regulation starts with ourselves. We need to regulate how much time we spend on social media. We need to regulate what we choose to believe of what we see. There's fake news out there, and sometimes there's too much negative stuff. You got to filter through it all and decide what you choose to accept. We need to regulate our children. That's very important. I think it's good that kids could learn and, off of that, but and at the same time, parents need to regulate how much time they spend on there and what they're watching. You should always keep a close eye on what your kids are doing at all times. It's just a big thing. I think if maybe in the future we could have a law maybe that restricts from fake news being published, that would be great. That could help, filter some of the fake things that we see. Over the next 30 years, I think through the innovations of the way that it's been developing, it's going to be out of this world. Nothing will go unnoticed. No crimes, no injustices, nothing could go unnoticed. The way that our children are now and how tech savvy they are, just I could only imagine the technology they'll be able to come up with and that they'll invent, and how their kids will be. It's only going to progress from here. Now, even though there are maybe some negative things that we could get, overall, it's positive. It's a progressive movement. I think with regulations within ourselves, we could get this whole mass media thing under control. And yeah, so that's what I think. That's it.